What is going on, guys? Jake here. Got another video for you guys. Lined up this morning, doing some chest, shoulders, tries. In other words, it's my push day. And I'm starting off things a little bit different this morning. Typically, I would warm up or do my warm-ups on the incline press and then go right into my working sets. However, this week, I'm going to try something a little bit different, and that is starting off with a chest fly, or on the chest fly machine. Typically, I would leave this movement for the end of my workout, but I've been really liking the theme of doing a movement that's not very hard on the joints, very easy to warm up on. Doing that movement to warm everything else up and almost pre-exhaust the muscle before going into my heavy lifting sets. So far, I've been doing that for both of my leg days, and I like that quite a bit. Another reason is I feel like my chest has always been a point, like a sticking point, as far as growth. Like, I feel like I don't notice as much chest development or chest growth. So I'm gonna try this out for a few weeks, see if I notice any improvements in that area. Aside from that, they have moved things around in the gym. I like this setup better. They've also gotten a couple new pieces. One that I'm excited to try out today. It's a seated overhead tricep extension. I'm really excited to try that. Back a couple weeks ago, I switched back over to doing skull crushers because I like that over the head kind of tricep extension movement. I'm gonna try out these because I just kind of sat on it lightweight, did like a couple reps just to see how it was gonna feel. It felt really good, so I'm excited to use that. With these, going into the last set, just did a couple of warm-up sets. It's only going to be 2 working sets. I don't want to pre-exhaust the muscles too much before going into the heavy sets, so that's that. We're going to go ahead and get in this final set. That was a good solid set. I'm gonna go ahead, get into now 3 sets of incline press, preferably around like 8 to 10 reps. So I just finished up set number 1 on the incline press. Felt pretty good. I would say maybe a little bit harder than usual with me starting off on the flies, but nothing like crazy or terrible. I'm waiting to see after the second set how much fatigue is there, if any. I'm expecting there to be a little bit. Was able to land 10 reps. A little bit of a struggle on the last rep. So if I rest up, probably like, 2-ish minutes, maybe even 2.5. I think I should still be able to land within 8 to 10 reps. Probably that last set is where I'm gonna fall short. Especially because this machine is already so what's the word I'm looking for? It's just very, very taxing. It's very noticeable doing this press compared to other presses. Like you're definitely working even with what seems like quite a bit lower weight compared to other press machines. Got maybe another, like, I don't know, 15-20 seconds, and then we'll go into the second set. Thinking I should at least be able to get another 10. We'll see. So 8 reps. Still landing where I want to be, and essentially going so I could barely get another rep. It's not quite failure, but pretty damn close. This last set will probably try to manage at least another 8. If not, then that one will definitely be taking a failure. So all rest up. Did go ahead and raise the starting position of the handles just up one click a little bit. Maybe it'll help me. Hoping it'll help me. Maybe get a couple more reps. Obviously, I won't be able to get as deep of a stretch, but as long as I can get that really solid contraction, then that's good. And then either way, this set's going to be taking a failure. So another 8 in. Try for that for a 9th rep, and it wasn't having it. So that one was effectively taking a failure. Finished up over here. We're gonna go over to the regular chest press machine, and the brand new one that they just got maybe like a week or 2 ago. I did learn over the weekend on my upper body day, I did learn something new with this machine, which is pretty cool. Definitely alters the way that you feel it, and I liked it quite a bit. So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here in a minute. All right, so check this out. So I already did 1 set. Gonna have to make some adjustments here. Get this thing down a little bit more. So let's see, let's go here. Have to wait just a little bit. Drop this down a little bit too. So these handles, you can actually adjust these in and out, and they converge towards the center at the same time, and you can adjust how much of that convergence you get by pulling the pin out, adjusting the handles to where you want them, and then reinserting the pin back in, obviously at your desired weight. So this thing is like fully adjustable between the handles, the seat up and down, the back rest, forward and back, and then also the handles forward and back, depending on where you want that conversion point. So when I found this out this past weekend and gave it a try, the amount of just burnout that I felt in the chest, like fatigue even, that I was feeling was crazy. Like, some inner pec fibers that aren't used to getting hit because you're used to using a singular path of motion, whereas this is, you could argue, it's kind of like two, because it's not only out, but it's also inwards. So it's just completely different. That being said, I'm excited to go into this second set. I did drop the weight just a little bit, and then I also brought the convergent point back a little bit too, because I think that was a little too heavy and too, I guess, pressed in a little bit too far. So go ahead, get this next set. That's better. That was a really good set. I think I adjusted that thing perfectly where I needed it to be, and then with me dropping it back, dropping the handles back a little bit, it allows for slightly deeper stretch too. So overall, really good chest pump out of this thing for sure. I'm still not crazy about how the weight loads. Like my first set was like 400 pounds, so it's like nowhere near what I would use on any other machine. So I don't like that aspect of it. But as long as you're getting the stimulus from it, effectively taking your sets close to failure, then that's overall going to be the most important factor of it. So I got one set to go, and then we're going to move over to that, we're going to try out that new tricep extension machine. I go into this last set. It's kind of the same theme of the incline presses, same thing with this. Looking for 8 to 10 reps. This one being the last set, I'm probably going to try and take it as close to failure as I can. Another solid 10, which I was barely able to get that one up. So if I would have tried for another rep, then it probably wouldn't have happened at all. For the best, probably. Let's go try out this new tricep machine. So I just did one set on these just to kind of gauge how it was gonna feel loaded up with weight. It does feel really good. The plates, it doesn't say how much weight they are. So pretty much I'm just weighing, assuming that each one is like 10 pounds. So if I've got 6 on there, then, you know, I'm just assuming that it's 60 pounds, which compared to an easy bar doing skull crushers, it did feel pretty similar to what 60 pounds of that would feel like. So I'm just gonna say 60, or that's how the weight increments go up, is, you know, by tens. I could definitely go up. I'll count that first set because I was still working for it. But it's always different when you're moving to a different machine that you never used before, you're not used to using, and then having to kind of use that first set to gauge how much weight you're gonna need and what it's gonna feel like. So I'm actually gonna probably drop this by another 2 plates. See how that feels. For these, probably gonna be about the same with both pressing movements, where I'm looking for 8 to 10 reps. Now, once I start going into lateral raises, which will be after these, and then the tricep extensions to finish everything off, then those will be slightly higher, you know, 10 to 12 reps. That was a good set. I could probably go up 1 more plate, 1 to 2 more plates, to see if that gets me where I need to be. And if anything, I think I need to lower the seat down a little bit more too, get this thing more in line. Back, the headrest or whatever, more in line with the back of my head, and then that should allow for a slightly deeper stretch in the triceps. So before I add any more weight, I'm gonna see what it feels like with this little minor adjustment, and then when I do these again next week, I'll know that starting off, I need to start in a slightly lower position because it affects the way that this weight loads. All right, I'm just going to see how this feels with the weight, or with the seating position slightly lower. That was much better. I like that a bit more with the lower seating position. Just allowed for slightly more depth at the bottom, which will cause more stretch in the tricep. Felt really good. Basically allowed to start from the resting position at the bottom as well. So getting a deeper stretch, getting a stronger initial contraction, moving the weight from basically a dead stop to. So I know next week when I do these, starting off probably with the same weight, because now I have an idea of what kind of weights I can manage for the reps that I'm looking for. And then I know the optimal starting position that I need to be in. So we're gonna go do some dumbbell laterals, 3 sets of those. Like I said just a bit ago, those will be between 10 to 12 reps. And then we're gonna finish off with some kind of tricep extension or tricep push down, whether that's with the bar or with some ropes. So I just finished up my first 2 sets and decided to bump up the weight just a little bit this week, where I think last week, first 2 sets started with 25s. So I'm gonna bump it up to the 30s because I know I can roughly maintain 10 reps of these, depending on the week when I've done these before. Some weeks will be, a couple sets of 12. And then the last one will be 10. But I know I can usually maintain at least 10 reps of these. So we got 1 set to go, resting about a minute and a half in between sets. Well, maybe a minute and a half, between a minute and a half and 2 minutes in between sets, just depending on how much rest I feel like I need. Which, like I said yesterday, since I've been doing cardio, I've noticed my, stamina. I'm not feeling as winded since I've been doing that in between sets, or gassed out. So we're gonna go ahead, get this last set, and then do some triceps. So not quite 10, but still pretty much taking a failure, even for that movement. So I'm good with that. I'm undecided if I want to do rope pushdowns or the bar. Sometimes I feel like I get stronger engagement with the bar, so I might just end up doing that if I can find one that I like. So we're on the final exercise and final set of the workout. I did end up finding a bar that I wanted, which has actually been the one I've been looking for a while. It's the straight bar, which it's not as comfortable, especially being that I broke my wrists, as the V-bar, but it does give a hell of a contraction in the triceps on the the pressing part of the movement. So I do like it for that, even if it is slightly uncomfortable. I've been able to maintain 10 reps. Well, first set was 10, and then I had a feeling I wasn't going to be able to get another 10 at that same weight. So I bumped it up a plate, which is only a 10-pound difference. So dropped to 10 pounds, cranked out another 10 reps. This last set, I'm hoping will be another at least 10, because remember, I'm looking for 10 to 12 reps on these. I'm gonna check the rest time. We're just now hitting 1:30, or a minute 30. So I'll maybe give it another like 15 seconds and then go ahead and get into this final set. This one should be pretty good. I imagine it's going to be pretty close to failure. Yeah, exactly how I thought that was going to go. Had to really give it everything for that last rep. Just going to finish logging this set real quick, finish up the workout. And then that's going to be a wrap on this one, guys. I'm going to go hit 20 minutes of cardio like I've been doing really good with that. And then, as always, if you made it to the end, I do appreciate you. And I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.